Welcome back, everyone, to the Song of Waves and Wind, where I've been asked to hunt for some vultures. And here's the road I need to take, which the bridge, well, I was going to say the bridge is out, but it looks like there's a bridge in the bridge. But I'm at the bottom, not at the top, so let's see if I could pick up the bridge at the other end, and I won't even have to worry about whether or not it's up or down. Here we are. Yes, well, I could take that on my way back from the village. Now, let's see if I can find some vultures. I hear that they are up in this direction, and I'm supposed to look for three different types of vultures. And apparently one of them is out in this direction. So, even though we just picked up the road, we're going to veer off a little bit and head along cross country. See what we could find. Other than bushes and oryx. Hmm. But are there any vultures around here? No, but there is a caracal. Now, apparently they're not talking about feline vultures, so I guess they don't count as vultures then. If he said nothing about feline vultures. He talked about Orca'i vultures and brigand vultures and, of course, flying vultures, but said nothing about feline vultures. I presume this set of vultures is living. Oh, I see something flying there. Does that mean that these are the vultures? Where I was thinking that they'd be something inhabiting that building or something like that. But I'm seeing something flying here, and I'm not too sure the flying type of vultures would be living inside of buildings and setting up shop or anything like that. I mean, I assume that those are vultures and not Nazgul since, well, we've taken care of all the not. Oh, well, how about that? These vultures do seem to be living inside buildings. Well, just outside of them, they're okay. Amongst the buildings. I guess they might make nice perching locations. You go on top of the ruins and you start to have the thermals come up, and then you could jump off from the top. And yeah, all right. You could use them as if they were trees or cliff sides or something. And yeah, I know it wouldn't be a very tall cliff, but it's better than nothing. And with as arid as this area is, I'm sure that late morning things start to really pick up and they can start to get higher on the ground, right? Well, something like that. Anyway, that's enough for the winged vultures. So now, let's see if we could find some Ordak vultures. It's back along the road, I believe. It looks like it won't be long on the road. The main road goes that way. There's a side road going over here. And the side road seems to be leading up to these brigand, Ordak, or whatever they are. So we are following the, I was about to say Greystone Road, but I'm not sure what this road is made out of. Actually, is this really a road? Well, the map shows it as a road. So I guess it must be a road of some sort. Alright, let's avoid the Mumak. We don't want to get in trouble on that. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, let's see. I think we're near the camp. But I don't see. Oh, hold on. We have an opening here. And this looks like the perfect place in which to hide a campsite. Well, that's what I was thinking, but obviously I was wrong. But maybe just have to go around a little bit. Always the tricky thing. I guess I'm just going to have to circle around the rocks. Well, it won't be the first time where I wind up doing something like that. Actually, I am going completely in the wrong direction. Oh, will you? Of course! I decide to attack when it turns out to be the named one. All right. Or actually, is that a named one, or is that just the name of the species for the local lizards? I don't know. I guess I'll just have to check at some point. See, now I've gotten myself down this lizard hole, or what do you call it? A lizard nest? Yes, down a. Yeah. How about if I just try avoiding the metaphors altogether and just kill this crazy thing if it will die? New deed: Invaders of Idigal. What? An invasive lizard? You have defeated. Well, okay, it is a named lizard. Alright, how many of these named 9 invaders of Idigal? Kashan the Grinder defeated. Okie dokie. Right. Okay. Fine. Now I found a new deed. I gotta find 8 more of these crazy things. But I don't think they're all lizards. See, okay, there it is. They're just bronze lizards. Have I finally reached the end of this rock formation? So that I can actually head up. Oh, did they? I guess they could put them on the heights and we just have to go around a switchback in order to get there? No, that sounds. I was about to say typical, but it doesn't look like that's not. Nope, that's not what happened at all. I take that back just a little bit further. I've discovered the Wither Watch. Right, because look at this. We've got a little bit of a town here. We've got a little bit of a caracol here. I am not going to fight this caracol next to the Moonlock is what I was about to say. So instead, I'm fighting it next to. Hey. Oh, this is an or. Actually, this might be one of the Orcakai I need to kill, right? Is he a two-legged vulture? A well, okay, saying two-legged vulture, I presume, is not exactly particularly useful, since even the ones that fly have 2 legs. There you go. Okie dokie. That is one of these. So I'll presume that the rest of these are. Hey, can I? Okay, that's the sorcerer. That's the more important one to kill first anyway, right? Oh, yourself. Oh, actually, that was the first one? Oh, okay, okay. The other one did not count. It wasn't close enough because apparently they only count the ones that are here at the town. Alright, gotcha. Understood. Okay, that's 2 of them. So I guess the other 2 are going to be. Well, okay, I have a feeling there are going to be a lot more than 2 inside this town here. Let's eat up a little bit. Now, there's something that is around here that's causing dread or something like that. Well, actually, it's a possibility that we could have those. If you've got Ordak here, we may have some of those, whatever they're. I always have trouble understanding. Okay, you have the Utugi, and then you have the ones who are in charge of the Utugi. I have no trouble remembering the name of the Utugi. Trying to remember the name of the ones who lead it. Whatever. Who cares? We're going to try to get rid of them so that no one will care. Though we can't let it pass out of living memory again. That way, if they go into another sleep, we can only hope that the story stays around long enough that no one will forget again. Nothing like an enemy that could only return when it's forgotten. Oh, okay. Am I being attacked by an elephant? No, a bit small for an elephant. But feisty? Alright, I thought I heard. Somehow I thought I'd heard a lion in there. Maybe the caracal was trying to imitate an lion, so I would think it was something bigger than it was. Alright, I guess back down there. Because the brigands are that way. Through those mountains! I think there's going to be a road that's going to lead me around it, I hope. Now, this road leads. How about that? Nice and straight and clear. It can't be this easy, right? With all the bones here? Oh, hold on. You have discovered the haunt of Kidubala. Oh, kid you about this? Alright, let's. Oh. Okay, we got you. Oh, a sneaky one. What? They're trying to triple team me. Well, you could try it. Brigand Vein of Idigal. Oh, I guess I am recently got come here, right? Okay, 2 Brigand Vultures. Okay, we have taken care of 3 of 4, and we just need 1 more, and we have a robber here. Hey, come and get me! Oh. Did that javelin land in your throat? Well, sorry about that. Alright, we are done here. We can return and tell him that we have successfully dealt with the vultures, and, of course, the vultures. I have dealt with a myriad of vultures.
I understand you dealt with both the vultures and the vultures, friend of Ahaba.
I thank you for aiding my people in this way. Your companion Rahazi asked some question while you were away, and I have answered her in the best that I may. Her knowledge of the old stories exceeds even my own, though her home be far away. All right, so what have you got to say about this?
The den of stone that drained the lake of Idagal occurred before even the eldest resident of Ahaba was born.
The basin has stood empty for the longest lifetime among Malgazor's people. He tells me that the bones of great beasts can be seen in the dry lake bed. They must be the remains of the dragon slain by Shrugnin so long ago. Oh, Shrugnin. All right.
I would see the bones of these dragons.
Will you accompany me to the center of the lake, that we may see this evidence of Shuragnin's great triumph? All right, so meet with Rahazi by the dragon bones in the dry well. Okay, so we are going to be looking at some hopefully still dead dragons. It appears that there are still some parts of this lake that have water. Probably one of the few places where the water has collected over the years and you have the rare rains that come into the area. And are those the dragon bones that she speaks of? Well, we're not at the bottom of the lake yet, but perhaps that's what she speaks of on. So let's head on down there and find the find a safe way down. That's what we need to do. Ouch! I wonder if this remaining bit of water is there year long, therefore making this one of the few significant water holes in the area, or if it's seasonal, that they have a wet season, which based on what I've seen so far, we have not yet seen because any rains there have been dry. So it could be that there's a wet season where the lake gets, well, maybe slightly higher than it is now, and then over the next several months it slowly dries out. So the question is, does it ever get... All right! No one said anything about there still being live dragons around here. Oh well. I think I did say wondering about... There are enough of them around that there's a deed for it? Well, at least they're not that big. Yep. They'd even be too big to be bones from elephants. Alright, now, let's see what we got in here. Uh-huh. Down here, down here. Okay, at least I didn't have to sprain my ankle again. So, let's continue on our way. There are definitely more dragonkin around here. And it looks like they're breeding. So I'm hoping I could find Rahazi around here and that she hasn't been eaten up by one of these things. Apparently I went down a little bit too low because they are at the edge of the lake, not in the bed of the lake. Okay, well, those are definitely big bones.
It is one thing to hear the songs, but to see such evidence of them so near.
The dragons were so large, and yet Shuragnin faced them beside the lake of Vidigal, and with the sword of Loratheg she brought them low. Rahazi falls silent. Then she speaks again. Her voice is a whisper. 3 were the children of Ahizi. Know now their names. Ahushu, Nuziru, and Rabug. Now forget them, for only Shuragnin remains. Okay, well, what do you say about this, Glorfindel?
I believe Mithril stood beside Shurugnin when she faced the dragons, but she appears in no further tale.
When Ahizi chased Shuragnin north of Urstar, the Shagani warrior fought alone. Let us leave Rahazi to contemplate the dragon bones in peace. I would take a closer look at the great statue that stands beyond the edge of the lake bed to the west. Okay. I'll take your word for it that there's a statue there. Yes. Where were we? Oh, yes, statue to the west, yes. Malgarzor named it the Dawn Warden, and it watches over the land from a great height. So travel to the feet of the Dawn Warden statue. I assume that that is the Dawn Warden because that is very definitely a very large statue. So let us go and head that way and see if we could get a nice and close look. It appears I'm not the only one who's recently been to the Dawn Warden. We have an entire camp here. Well,
Coin, fire, and comfort find you, outsider.
hello. I believe this is one of the folk that we need to recruit for Mizadi's army. Now, I think Glorfindel, though, is up there. So I'll just have to find my way up. I've managed to get up to the top. Now, I certainly have maybe too close of a look. I can see the ankles. Well, okay, if they weren't inside the shoes. Well, what do you say, Glorfindel?
The Dawn Warden is a most impressive construction, even when seen from afar.
But more so when seen from below. I understand a similar statue stands to the north in Kudzagin, but that one lies in ruin. In this own language, Malgazor named the great statue Uzur, and said many wayfarers and pilgrims travel great distances to see it. Perhaps you can speak with some of these travelers and learn what they can say of the Ordekai and presence in Idgal. They will likely not know anything concerning the Tharduth, but keep open your ears. Alright, so talk to Dimuzga and Balamar. Okay, so don't ask about the Tharduth, ask about, well, yeah, I guess asking about the Ordekai and stuff like that. Things that they will know about. Hello.
Have you come from afar to worship Uzur, the great statue of Isiguz Menundari, the eternal ruler?
The time of his return is nearly at hand, when he will deliver Shigana from its enemies. Okay, so a legendary ruler who shall someday return. And what does he say about it?
I dare not hope the Menundari will return during my lifetime.
I dare not hope that Menundari will return during my lifetime. Why has he not already come back to us? What more suffering could be required before he will take pity upon us? Has there not been war and bloodshed enough to merit his return? Well, there is something about that. How about this person?
So many wayfarers come to this statue to appeal to the Menundari for his return.
They leave various keepsakes at the base of the statues as offerings to him, but I call it a futile endeavor. The eternal ruler will return at a time of his choosing, not of ours. Until that moment, all we can do is watch over his sacred sites. At night I have heard a terrible wailing, as of an anguished wind, and in the morning assorted items have been taken from the base of Uzur. I care not for the keepsakes that are taken, but sometimes stones go missing, and because they belong to Uzur, they are sacred. I have never caught them doing it, but I suspect the scavenging beasts called Kergrim are to blame for these thefts. If you retrieve these sacred stones from their dens at the northeast, you will prove yourself a friend of the people of this land, and to the memory of Menundari. Alright, so it appears that we are going to recover some stones from some Kergrim, and that's what we're going to be doing in the next episode of the Song of Waves and Wind.